Yes, sir.
Very pleasant morning to one and all. This is Vignesh, student of Birla Institute of Management, presenting before you the performance evaluation of growth funds in India. And to acknowledge my professor, this is Mr. Professor Ravi Agarwal, and I have done this study with my colleagues, Mr. Jyoti Dabas and Aditi Kumar. Starting off with the same old story, mutual funds. I'm not going to start off with it. So, like this old story, let it be with 7,50,000 crore of asset under management. Indian mutual fund industry is growing like at a rate of 17%. And yes, this is into the hardcore performance evaluation. Why only growth funds? Point number one, because everyone wants capital appreciation. This is our main aim. One thing, if I ask you 13% return or 18% return, obviously 18% return. 18 or 100, obviously 100% return. So growth funds are very good investment tool to have very great capital appreciation. And we have considered 24 funds. This is convenient sampling, and we haven't done any analysis to get down into these samples. Now, what is our objective? A lot of big companies, Edelweiss, Morgan Stanley, they boast like we are coming up with the ranking of mutual funds. So this one, Reliance Vision, Reliance Mutual Fund, Reliance Enough Capital, others, so, etc., etc. This is rank number 1, this is rank number 2, rank number 3. But how? How did they calculate it? How do we know? We as a small investor, how do we come to know what is the basis of investment? So this is one study, and the next objective is to combine all the ratios. I mean, this is probably what I'll be discussing. So to combine all the ratios, okay, this is the evaluation methodology. I'll be dealing with 13 ratios. I bet I'm going to confuse you. And one thing to be noted in this confusion is the return and standard deviation. Make note of just two things. Take the return into consideration, standard deviation into consideration. These are all the different ratios. Starting off with my grandfather's father trainer, and 1965 he gave this ratio, and the 1968 Sharpe ratio, Jensen's alpha, etc., etc. These are all the ratios. And this Sortino ratio and appraisal ratio are in relevance to today's context. Reward to volatility. First one is the trainer ratio. Two things to be noted: return and the volatility. This is the return. RB is the portfolio return that the mutual fund has given us. This is our return exactly. And RF is the risk premium, risk-free rate. Return for the risk-free investment. We have taken it as 91-day treasury bill. This risk-free rate, had we invested in a security, government security, this is the return we would have got. So our reward will be RP minus RF, and beta is the systematic risk. We have taken a part of the total risk. Point number 1 to be noted. So the ratio is going to give us the reward or the return per unit risk. For 1 unit of risk, what is the return that I am getting? This is the trainer ratio. The next one is the modified trainer. So this is where I will be confusing you. Trainer, modified trainer, Sharpe, modified. So all these are, keep it very simple, return and the standard deviation. This is with the standard deviation of the market. Previously we considered only the systematic risk, now we are considering the total market risk. The next one is the Sharpe ratio. Sharpe, what it did was, instead of taking the standard deviation of the market or the beta or the systematic risk, he took the total risk of the portfolio. How much risk you are involved in and the per unit risk. Return per unit risk. And the next one is Jensen's alpha. This measure gives only one thing. This is the difference between actual and the expected. Theoretically, as per the calculations and the historical value, we derive out with something called as the expected rate of return. And will be RA. RA is the actual return that we got. So this difference can be a very good tool for us to evaluate the performance of the mutual fund. I told that I will be giving 10% of return and the actual return is 12%. The difference is going to be the Jensen's alpha method. Jensen's alpha. And the modified Jensen's alpha. Like this part, alpha is the this is the alpha value or the excess return that we have got, but this is per unit systematic risk. This is per systematic risk. Next one is Pharma French. What he said was, okay, all these cases you have been concentrating only on the beta value. Only on the beta value, taking the CAPM into consideration. Now, what about the rest of it? What about the unsystematic risk? The poor investor, he will not be able to diversify all his risk. So what does he do? He came up with a measure taking the total risk into consideration, and this is the expected return. This is the appraisal ratio. Appraisal ratio is, this is the specific risk. The specific risk is the unsystematic risk. This is also for the investor. Sortino ratio. Okay. One more thing. All these time we have been taken into total standard deviation. That is deviation from above the normal and below the normal. But here we consider only the downside of the risk. Only the downside, because any deviation above the normal is considered to be profitable. So we take only the downside of the risk and we come up with the Sortino ratios. And this is the preliminary M squared, not because it is a squared value, it is because Modigliani and her granddaughter gave this one. So this is simple. Starting off with the Sharpe ratio, we generalize it like Sharpe ratio. If you if you remember, it is being divided by the beta value. So we calculate the we normalize it and take the return, and this is the portfolio return, adding it back. Going on with it, M squared for beta. This came from the trainer value, and this is the same M squared for Sortino. This has a greater relevance in this case. Okay, this analysis what we have done is from 1 Jan to 30th December 2009, and this is the finding that we have got. Any investor who has done this analysis taking into consideration the Sensex or the NSE and these mutual funds with their net asset values. The net asset values have been obtained from AMFI. We obtained that Sharpe's ratio, M squared, all the fixed ratios. The top performer comes out to be principal mutual fund in general cases, but for three ratios. We will discuss why. And the least performer is the UT8 top 100. Okay, let's reason out why. Point number 7, trainer ratio. Point number 7, rank number 7, M squared for beta, and rank 7 for modified Jensen. All these three take into consideration the beta values. They take into consideration only the beta values, so they got 7th rank. One subtle conclusion from this is that they are not very proper in managing their systematic risk. And the same case goes good with this. Rank number 23 and 23 when it comes to trainer ratio, M squared for beta, and the modified Jensen. So as an investor, you have to look into the beta, total risk and the systematic risk and the return you are obtaining from your investment. Scope of it, huge scope of it. Point number 1, you can design it for your you can put it in a website, start a business. Point number 1. Point number 2, if you are philanthropic, you can start off a business wherein you can start off an NGO wherein you are educating all your investors. Point number 3, of course, for personal use. Thank you.
Just a small query.
It's a very good presentation. I have really had a very nice presentation. I am very happy. I have no question.
Yes, sir.
Very good presentation, everyone.
Thank you.
I have a very small query.
Yes, sir.
Just I heard one thing from you that systematic risk cannot be managed. Told in that line, systematic risk.
One particular mutual
For
fund
the
could
seventh rank,
not manage
for the
systematic risk.
7th ranked cases, you just mentioned that systematic risk they have not managed it.
Companies are not properly managing when it comes
But
to taking
systematic
into
risk
all
cannot be managed.
systematic. Yes, sir. My view is like systematic risk generally cannot be managed from an external point of view. It is your business. Change your business line, you'll be able to control the systematic risk a bit. Did I answer your question, sir?
Yeah, any more questions, please? Just one.
Change your business
just
line.
one.
Sir, you modify. See, there are some loopholes in your business that is actually creating the business systematic risk. Anything that is internal to your system, it will be classified as a systematic risk.
Not internal is not. Not internal is not. Anything that is market risk is the rest of the system.
Yeah.
Where from all these ratios can be obtained? These different
They are
ratios.
there in
you are
portfolio.
using.
They are yes, sir.
He has added a little more by combining these denominators.
They are using, but he has modified some.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
we
sir.
have a lot more ratios. Among all, what will be the best one for making the investment decision?
Yes, sir.
Because small investors may not have such a time or may not know these things. So if you suggest one or two.
The trainer ratio, Sharpe ratio are out of date. The Sortino ratio and the appraisal ratio are still relevant. If you want to still modify it, the M squared for Sortino value is very pertinent to this today's condition.
M square what is?
Modi.
Miller and Modigliani.
Yeah, Modigliani and
Yes, for Miller and Modigliani.
Okay, thank you, Vignesh.
Thank you.
One more hour.